If I were to rank the most asked question I got over the years, how long does it take you to make one flower? Would be number one. Does it take me to make one paper peony? And if you stick around until the end, not only you know the answer, but I have something fun to share with you as well. If you are new here, my name is Poy. I am the founder of Summer Space, an artfully handcrafted paper flower studio based in New York. I focus on sharing behind the scenes of my studio, my obsessions with stationery and craft organizations. So if this is something you're interested in, please hit subscribe so I can create more video like this for you. Now that I have all my materials ready, let's start the clock and make the flower. I asked my Instagram followers to vote which flower should I record myself making. The options were rose, peony, and dahlia. Of course, I have another person say zinnia, but that's going to be for another time. And the result came down to peony. That is why I'm making one today with 90 grams Italian crepe paper. And don't worry, I already linked the supply for the paper below. I started making paper flowers in 2018 from a project called 100 Days of Making, where you pick your focus, block your time of the day, and make or do that one thing for 100 days. I know a number of you were asking about this project, so I'll make a video about that shortly. After I made 100 flowers, apart from my full-time job as a UX designer, I took some of the good flowers, walked around the street of New York City, and asked stores, shops to do pop-ups or works with me. I got to work with Madewell, West Elm, Craft Jam, Mamong, Arlo Hotels, and that's how things took off. In 2020, I lost my full-time job. I then pivoted and decided to work full-time on this studio to see where that takes me. That's the same time where my husband got a job offer in Long Island, so we moved out from the city to the burbs, and I am now running the studio in our second bedroom. Paper flower making helped me letting go of my perfectionism. I am a Virgo, so I tend to want things to be perfect, and that kind of backstabbing me by not getting anything done. I've been struggled with that all my life, and making one flower a day made me realize that I should just enjoy the process, and if I don't like the flower today, I have the next day to make them better. A lot of times in my class, people would worry about not making a perfect flower or making them look like mine. And I always said, well, I've been making paper flowers for years now, and I have my muscle memory in place. Also, if your flower doesn't look like mine, you can create your own version and just enjoy the process. That also inspired me to create a workshop that has all the foundation so that you can build your skills and creativity off of that. Okay, so let's get back to the peony making for a little bit. I think I'm about to get my center done, so let's just stop the time here and look at it a little bit. How long did it take me to make all these center? Looks like it's been 23 minutes. It's a good time for me to take a break, and I'm gonna hit pause right now and we'll come back. Here's the commercial break. If you like what you're seeing so far, you can start making your own paper peony today by checking out the link below for my on-demand workshops that you would have an immediate access once you sign up. For people who are in the US, you can get the bundle with the workshop kit shipped to your house, and if you're outside of the US, I also share the complete supply list so you can source the materials locally. Now that I got that salesy content out of my system, let's get back to work. I've restarted the clock and now working on the petals. This is the most tedious part, so I'm just gonna fast forward until the end. Okay, so I'm finishing off the petals from cutting, shaping, and now coloring, which I am actually making another video specifically for coloring tools for paper flowers. I've been experimenting with acrylic this year and I want to share my take on them. When I first started, I used watercolor, markers, or whatever I could find in my apartment at that time. Now that I'm living in a place where I have an outside balcony, so I can use spray paint and pastel or any other tools that would need a well ventilated space to air out the toxic smell. So I'm gonna share that with you as well, but do let me know if there are other coloring tools that you would like me to test out with crepe paper. I would love to take on the challenge. Now that the tedious part is done, let's look at the time. It's been 50 minutes. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands and gonna come back and finish the rest. A quick reminder about this pastel. If you have a small baby or pets in your house, you want to clean your space often. And if you can, open the window or use an air purifier to filter the particles. Or else you might want to consider the other tools like acrylic or watercolor instead. Okay, hitting the restart button and let's do this. One thing I really enjoyed about making paper flowers is even though it's tedious, it can also be meditative and therapeutic. I usually have some shows, podcasts, or my favorite songs on while making them. So I always running out of show to watch. Right now, I just finished season 4, part 1 of You, K-drama Vincenzo, The Circle, and I'm thinking about rewatching Ted Lasso again so I can catch up on season 3 that's coming out in March. I'm so excited. But anyway, drop your recommendation for new shows for me to watch. I always need them. Getting back to the flower making, it's starting to look like a flower. I already finished my first template, now moving on to the second, and of course continuing on to the third one until it's done. For this style of peony, not only I have the on-demand workshop for you to make them, but I also have them for sale in cream, light peach, and pink. And I've recently added new colors at my shop because it's been the bestseller product for my studio to date. I also just learned that peony represents good fortune and luck in Chinese culture. So it's a perfect gift for housewarming gift, new baby celebration, and a birthday gift, which is a number one reason why people are gifting this peony to their loved one. Here, I just finished adding the petals and you can see that I still have enough petals to make another flower, so I'll do that later. But right now, I am going to let the glue dry while making the leaves. In my workshop, you will also have access to free bonus classes to make 3 different types of foliage, so you can create a bouquet or an arrangement yourself. The bonus classes are available for all the workshops you sign up. Right now, I have this peony, carnations, and rose. And in the next coming weeks, I am launching poppies, anemones, cherry blossoms, and tulips. The best way to get notified about these classes is to subscribe to my newsletter. I consider my email list my VIP. Now I'm done with the sepal and I'm going to fast forward to the leaf making so that I can take another break and come back to finish the rest. But let's look at the time. It's been about 1 hour and 9 minutes. All right, we're gonna come back to this. As we are approaching to the end of this, I want to share the sweetest story about one of my workshop. Imagine this is a corporate workshop where I guess 70% of the people are half forced to do this and 5 of them were men. I used to think that crafting is mostly for women, and so I was nervous about that. I won't get their attention as much as other women in the room. Turned out those five men were the most attentive. They asked a lot of questions, and at the end, two of them were asking me for more paper, which I was really happy to give them, so that they can make more flowers, one for his daughter and another one for his girlfriend. It changed my whole perspective of my poor judgment, and I thought I shared this story. Did you see something moving in the background? That's my cat slash boss, Willie. So I am going to move so you can see him in his element. This is what I have to deal with all the time. He loves this stool and always inserts himself whenever I'm sitting on it. Sometimes he will just bite my butt despite the fact that I was here first, so I guess you're gonna see him for the rest of this video. Willie was adopted from a shelter in Harlem, so he lived with my husband and I in Manhattan, and now he's enjoying our bigger apartment, watching the birds from the balcony, and always asking for more Cheetos whenever I'm eating one. So you will see him in more of my videos. This is the very last step of paper peony making, and the first time I made them was in 2018. Took me about 8 hours from research, test out the template, and I had to make 5 of them. That was also my very first order when a friend of mine wanted me to make 5 peonies for a girl that lives in Texas. And he just wants to send her something that don't die, with, of course, her favorite flower, peony. So with that first order, I made $47. And it's wild to think back about it. Okay, as I'm wrapping up, you can probably have the idea how long did it take me to make one flower, particular for this peony. I also just created a new series to make tropical paper flowers that I already started this weekend with orchids, and that one took me about 6 to 7 hours, and I'm planning to make one tropical flowers a month to keep lighting that fire in me, and I will share the process with you as well. And that brings us to the end of this video, stopping my clock for the last time with 1 hour and 13 minutes. I will add this particular flower on my shop if you want to gift yourself or someone. And if you want to learn how to make paper flowers, as mentioned, I've linked everything below. Thanks for following along this journey. Live artfully, and I'll see you soon. Bye!